Should we start with Crawley then, Darren? A side are on a good run actually, one defeat in the last 8 in the league, looking good for them.
Good team. I went to see them on Tuesday. They played very, very well against us here, deserved to win. I know it was a while ago, but they're a good team. They've got a lot of energy, some good players. It'll be a tough game Saturday. I was quite impressed by them.
You only need to have a look at their recent results to know they are a good side. They've won at Orient, won at Walsall, drawn at Preston, drawn at Rotherham. They've taken on some of the big boys, haven't they?
Yeah, it'll be a tough match. I think they're in a slightly false position, personally, but I know they've got all these games in hand. And I can see them, getting up the league. Hopefully not on Saturday, obviously, but the players will be fully aware that this is going to be a tough game on Saturday. Yeah,
they've got 5-6 games in hand over a lot of the teams below them, so you'd fully expect them to get away from that relegation zone.
Yes, fully. And you never know if they continue the run they're on. They might just be hoping for better than that. So, but we'll be ready for them. Obviously, we've got that bit of belief and confidence back in terms of we've had good results ourselves, and we want to continue this little run going as long as we can.
As you say, it was a while ago they beat you here, and under a different manager as well. Any real change in the way they play now under John Gregory?
Not really. A similar formation. They've lost the boy Adams to Rotherham, who I think was a key player for them. So no, not really. Familiar sort of team to what played here. And then I think the rest. Drury went off injured. He could be not fit for the game, but they've got others to come in. So no, it'll be a tough game, and we expect to be a pretty poor pitch like our own, so we'll have to be aware of that. It's their first home game for I think about 5 weeks. So but it's up to us and how we perform and make sure we're solid again and hopefully get another win.
Do you think the fact it is their first home game for a while will change the atmosphere, maybe make a bit more of a buzz? There'll be some anticipation though, won't there?
I think it could do. Perhaps you'll get a larger crowd because obviously people have not had anything to spend their money on, so you may get a higher attendance, which should be good, and it might be a better atmosphere. And also the fact that they've had 2 tough away games and come out of them unbeaten, and 4 points they've picked up from Walsall and Swindon. So, like you say, they're on a good run, but it's always about what we do, and we've got to concentrate on that more than them. But we'll give them the respect they're due.
You'll like that atmosphere though, won't you? Because you've shown recently you can go away when the atmosphere is quite fierce, and you can pick up results. You seem to thrive on that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we've done well away from home of late. We've taken out the games we've had, the Leyton Orient and Stevenage league games. We've taken great away following. They've been fantastic. Maybe we're not going to take as many to Crawley because of the distance, but our away fans have been excellent and they've really driven us on. They did again last week, and we've given them good results and decent performances. So we want to continue that. You
mentioned Tubbs earlier on. He's one of those players that whenever you seem to check the League One scores, he always pops up on the score sheet, doesn't he? He really knows where the goal is.
Yeah, he was excellent Tuesday. Scored a good goal. His link-up play was outstanding. I think he only gave the ball away once. So we'll go through all the stuff in the sort of the presentation video stuff tomorrow. The players will be aware of that, and perhaps it's a case of stopping them getting the supply that they need. That's the thing we've got to concentrate on.
A couple of familiar faces in their ranks, of course. Torres and Josh Simpson, who's carved a real good career out, hasn't he? There, he's the captain of Crawley.
Yeah, I signed him. I think he may be one of the last signings I made before I left first time. He's played right midfield. He went into the centre when Jury went off. So he's a real team player, Josh. He's a good footballer as well. Gets up and down the pitch. So I can understand why he's captain. Serge has been injured, but he's come back on the bench the other night, so perhaps he'll play. But no, it's 2 names, 2 faces we're familiar with, and I'm pleased. I'm always pleased when players that leave the club go on to do well, and then those 2 have.
You've got players banging on the door to play here at the moment, haven't you? Baldwin's a good example. Obviously, spent big money on him, but he hasn't been able to get in the league largely because Nugent and Brisley have formed a decent partnership back there.
He's been excellent, Jack. He really has in training, and in the reserve game we had, he was outstanding. And you bring players into the squad. And what happens is 1 or 2 things. Perhaps they do come in and they stay in, but then the ones that are already in the team, they see it as a challenge to stay in the team, and whatever way it works, it's great for me. So that's the reason why you do it. And Sean and Ben have looked good, but Jack's been outstanding. He's going to be a top player. There's no question about that. And also young Connor's knocking the door as well, and 1 or 2 others. Jack Payne's back fit, so I've got good numbers in my squad and good quality, I feel.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Connor because we talked about maybe playing 3 up, didn't we, a couple of weeks back? But I suppose difficult to change it, difficult to know who you'd leave out because it was a really good away performance against Stevenage.
Yeah, you've got different permutations. You could do what we did against Stevenage and play Connor and Britt right up, and you just adjust the role of your wide players. Nicky can play wide. He did a lot at Swindon. Roy could then possibly go back to left back. So I've got decent options there, and I know myself what we're going to do, and the players do, but there is options, and I think we've got good flexibility to change formations within the game, which I'm always keen on doing, and the players quite enjoy that.
Do you think Jose's shown since he's been back that he's much more than just a goal scorer? Perhaps he was labelled like that by the supporters, and perhaps us in the media as well. But I mean, Stephen is just one example when he dropped deep and played a sort of 50-yard diagonal ball to the right-hand side. He's got vision and intelligence to his game apart from just poaching in the box.
No, he's very good technically, Nick. From where he's started his trade at United, so you'd expect that. He's always been good technically, Nicky. And to be fair to the boy, he's had a run and he's done well. He's done very, very well. And credit to him for that. He does score goals. He's finished. It looked easy, but it wasn't easy against Stevenage. But his all-round game is good. But technically, I've always felt he's been a decent player.
And the supply line is good at the moment, isn't it? You're getting plenty of balls in the box. Little's cross on Saturday, a good example of that. But that's what you want to see, and that's what the strikers will want, that kind of ammunition.
Yeah, the cross was excellent. It's hard to deal. It's hard to defend against when you whip it behind centre halves. You can get own goals, you can get deflections, but centre halves generally find them crosses hard to deal with, moving their feet quickly and things. And it's a lot. We've worked a lot on that. We've done a bit again today. So no, the quality of the goal deserved to win the game, really.
Payne back in them for this weekend, or back in the squad, I should say. So that groin injury you've managed that, and it's all okay now.
Yeah, we obviously spoke last week, but we've managed it in the sense that we've given it a good bit of rest. Left him out obviously at the weekend. He didn't do anything Monday, Tuesday. Did a bit with a fitness coach, and then he's trained today, and he's no problem. So the rest has helped really.
I must admit, I forgot to ask you about Knight Percival at the weekend because he limped out, didn't he, against Stevenage? How's he?
He's fit. Vassell's the only injured player, touch wood, that I've got, so everyone else is fit.
That's good. And Vassell, he broke his toe, didn't he? Do you know how long that's going to be?
Probably another 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
And then you have it back. And I was going to ask as well, obviously there's some players at the moment that can't get on the bench at the minute because you've got so many options. Is there scope to get them out to play any football? What's with the loan window?
It's a difficult one, Nick, because we've got, apart from this week and the week of the 18th of March, we've got 3 games a week. I've got to be careful. I've got to make sure I do the right thing for us, and also have the understanding that players, 1 or 2 maybe out of contract even in the summer. I've got to think about that, and if they're not playing any football, it might be difficult for them in the summer. So I've got to balance it, which I always tend to try to do. But I've got to do what's right for the club in the sense that we're going to need a big squad. We're definitely going to need it. But there's 1 or 2 that have asked the question, and at the moment nothing's going to happen. But if the situation's the same in a week or 2, then I've got to appreciate that. But I always try and do what's best for us, and that might mean even getting another one in, and then I can let one out and wait and see.
It's a conundrum though, isn't it? Because you let a couple out, then you pick up a couple of injuries, and everyone's saying, well, why are players out on loan? And
that's the problem. It's not like a goalkeeper where you can bring them back in 24 hours. It's 28 days. So I've got to be careful that I've got the right numbers. Like you say, 1 or 2 suspensions, 1 or 2 injuries, and all of a sudden I can't bring someone back. So perhaps not now is the right time to do it, but maybe a couple of weeks' time, if the situation's the same with 1 or 2 of them, then it might be different.
Just on a lighter note, club photographer's getting his hair cut, isn't he, for charity this week? Apparently you're cutting the first strands. I don't know if that's true.
I believe I am, and I think you could be in trouble because I'm not very good. I can't imagine with a razor, so I might just cut one of his ears off. Nah, listen, if it's for charity, it's worthwhile. So yeah, I'll quite enjoy that.
Is that haircut going to suit Joe?
No, nothing. I've seen his face. Not really much to suit him. No, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a good lad doing it for charity, so fair play to him.